The Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. 2 parks, 10,000 animals. Placed midway through the trails of North America is an invitation to the tundra. 4.5 acres. 3 animals. A world-class display designed for interaction and suspense. Prepare to be inspired by the polar frontier at the Columbus Zoo. The Polar Frontier opened in May of 2010, making it as of now still the zoo's second newest major attraction. As the zoo states, this $20 million exhibit depicts a long abandoned mining town that draws guests into the Arctic Circle, connecting them to the animals that inhabit the coldest climates in the world. I'll start at the backside of the abandoned mine/gift shop at a small Arctic fox enclosure that represents a garden shed that sits along the building. You can see their den from within the building. It opened with 3 males and a lone female, but unfortunately on this day, they were far from active. Next is a 1/3 of an acre narrow home for rescued brown bears Brutus and Buckeye that came to the zoo in 2004. Their exhibit has 2 shelters, one with a 42,000-gallon pool filled with live fish to hunt. I didn't film it because a large family decided it was a perfect place to have lunch, and I'd be getting looks while I was pointing my camera at nothing. The next viewing, placed in the middle, is an unobstructed panorama of the open landscape. But where the bears spend a lot of their time is at the second shelter, a station that teaches you just about everything you'd like to know about bears. A board discussing their ability to withstand frigid temperatures, and a wall of cutouts of every bear species to show how they measure up to one another. And of course, it offers another up-close view of the orphaned brothers, and a near-complete view of the enclosure. 30 feet across from them is why you're all here. Beyond this 106-foot-long viewing area is a display that's been argued before as the most substantial of its kind. A near 35,000 square foot polar bear habitat. Piles of sand, 2 pools, a grassy meadow, and a horizon line that makes you guess where the barrier ends. A direct example of what a polar bear display should look like. They'll swim for hours and entertain themselves right below your feet. I've never seen animals build this much anticipation with their playful nature. Every time one of them gets on a rock or even walks along the water, you're almost forced to hold your breath as you wait for them to make the plunge. The Columbus Zoo is home to 5 individuals, 2 adult females with a younger male and 2 other young females that were born in 2016, but that will soon change. The younger bears, Amelia Gray and her half-sister Neva, will be transferred to the Maryland Zoo this fall. Neva's twin brother Nunik will also find a new home, which has yet to be revealed. In the wild, polar bear cubs will leave their mothers at the age of 2 to 2.5 years old, so their coming absence is perfectly timed. These 3 were the only polar bears born in a North American zoological facility in 2016, and with more available space, this allows the opportunity for the zoo to welcome another adult male to expand the polar bear population. And now, we're going to head below and see them from an angle where imagination becomes reality. On the way down, you'll see a series of before and after photographs of how the Arctic has changed over the last century. The bottom level fits the theme of the previously mentioned abandoned mine shaft, a dim, dusty hall, complete with a wooden foundation that barely keeps the dirt and rock above you from falling down, along with a minecart atop the doorway of the second level. The focal point of the region, the underwater viewing area. A 27-foot-long, semi-complete tunnel that takes you into the pool as you're 16 feet below. It's settled just beneath the top viewing area, but because the ceiling doesn't reach the surface, this allows the bears to not only swim above you, but to also walk above you. a design that's only executed with bears at 5 or so other facilities around the world. Here you have a front seat view to see them dive into the water. Their plunges are usually their attempts to catch the live trout that share the pool. Most of the time, though, they aren't successful. You can look up and just barely see them along the surface, waiting for them to make the next move. But there are live videos placed on either side of the viewing, so you'll never have to guess when they'll make it down here. For obvious reasons, I refer to this as the photographer's paradise. But I guarantee to everyone that once you see a polar bear settled below the sun, you'll never want to leave. And that concludes the polar frontier at the Columbus Zoo. As you exit, you can continue where you left off in North America, or take the other route to a completely separate world. As always, thank you for watching Zoo Tours, and enjoy all that I have left to show of the polar bears. If you enjoyed that episode, you can subscribe and join me on my quest to explore the world's finest zoos. Because I've yet to film it, there is no preview of the next episode. But here's a hint. This facility is once again the Columbus Zoo, but it's not at the Columbus Zoo. Stay tuned.